Welcome ladies and gentlemen to a casted game for Crossfire Legion, and today we have got Zard in the southeast corner of the map playing as Global Risk. In the northwest corner of the map we've got PP Zeta playing as the Black List faction. We'll call PP Zeta Zeta for short just for this game, and we see that Zard has already popped out a barracks and has got his waypoint going forward, so perhaps getting some infantry on the field. Is also sending a worker forward as a scout. We do see the same coming out for Zeta, worker coming forward for the Blacklist player. Will they cross paths? Yet to be seen. We do have the sight tower now being activated for Zard, and contains the just controls that for a couple of seconds, and they do cross paths. And actually, Zeta gets the first few hits, and so yeah, Zard's just going to ignore that, I suspect, and just going to go forward just to see what intel he can get. And we do see a Blacklist barracks going down for Bulldogs. A couple of Bulldogs already popping out, and I suspect a couple of Marines, 4 Marines coming out for the Global Risk player. Now, the Global Risk Marine is quite a strong unit, especially in high numbers. So probably Zard is going to look to mass those up. Okay, we'll see a couple of Bulldogs just hanging out there on the entrance to his base, just to see and offer some protection. Perhaps the Blacklist player Zeta will be looking to get a second core base there for an expansion. Alright, so Zard sticking around with 4 troopers just for now, and they do deploy quite quickly for the Global Risk faction. It looks like a logistics depot. This is a building which essentially adds the population space for the Global Risk faction, and we do see an armory going down, so that will offer some upgrade ability for the infantries. We'll see if that's exactly what Zard intends to do. Okay, pretty quiet. Oh, there's a Blacklist supply cache there with the worker that's gone forward, just to keep him active, I suspect. And he's maintaining control of the sight tower. The Blacklist player PP Zeta is looking just to have that scouting information, just to see if any danger is coming his way. 10 workers on materials for Zeta and for Zard at the moment, and Zard is actually maxed out, well, not maxed out really, but maxed out in terms of optimal efficiency for resource gathering. So he might be looking, oh, he's got his second core base up and running actually already, so starting to produce more workers, and looks like he might be going for the upgrades. It looks like he's queued it up. Yep, he's going for the infantry upgrade for his troopers, and he might be adding a couple more, I suspect, to make that upgrade even more effective. So this is the typical matchup. These are the traditional 2 factions that we started off with in this Crossfire Legion game. There is a third faction called New Horizon. Perhaps we'll get some casted games for that faction. It's an interesting one, but this one looks like the old grudge match between Global Risk and Blacklist. Alright, Zard moving out now with a couple of troopers. Looks like he's just going to protect the second core base. We do see Bulldogs coming in as well. So we do see perhaps an early altercation here, a couple of fights. Suspect with the numbers though, Global Risk should be doing pretty well. Sorry about the pauses, this can happen in the demo version of the game, but I'm sure this stuff will all be ironed out as time goes on. Alright, so a bit of a fight here, and you can see the heal ability, the Global Risk base heal, which heals nearby friendly units for a duration, used by Zard here. Going to keep a decent number of infantry there. Don't forget they are upgraded as well. I'm not sure if we see an armory for the Blacklist player. In fact, he's actually going for a workshop. I don't know if that's actually the equivalent of the armory. Still getting to the grips of this game, so as time progresses we'll figure that stuff out. But I'm not sure if this is the workshop which produces vehicular units, or whether this is the upgrade center for this faction. It might actually be the upgrade center for the faction. We do see a second core base going down for the Blacklist player, so he's a little bit behind on economy, but we do see a ghost core coming down for Zeta, and we do see a good fight here, I think, for the, well, if he gets these units in. These units seem to be more focused on the ghost core rather than the Bulldogs. We do see a anti-ground turret there for Zard, which will offer a lot of protection, which is a good play for him, and he does increase the reinforcements. So this is actually overall pretty good fight for Zard. Good defense of his second core base, and this ghost core will go down. And this is what's been mentioned about the Blacklist civilization, or faction rather, actually. I'm too much into the zone of Age of Empires there. But the faction global risk rather. One of its benefits is that it does have shorter training times for its units, so they can really reinforce their units quickly. And of course that fight was done sort of with the defensive bonus, being quite close to home and close to his own barracks there. But a nice early attempt at some pressure for Zeta. And it looks like now Zard's going to double down with some defenses with the anti-ground turrets and increasing his population space with the logistics depot. Alright, so Blacklist not really making full use of their new core base. I don't know if that's intentional idling in order to produce units, because he does now have an airfield on the map starting to be produced, and a mechanized facility. So I think the mechanized facility is actually the building which produces the vehicle units for the Black List faction. They do have some really exciting units actually. In particular, I quite like the cheetahs. They're very fast to move and they have good ground and air capabilities. They're a little bit weak on their armor, but you know, they can't do it all. So they do have the ability to fire at ground units, and they can pull the air units to the ground, their enemy air units to the ground, and fire at them as well. So they're quite good as utility unit. Do you see a little bit of fight here? A couple of bulldogs being caught out by 3 infantry and troopers. They will take that out, and Zard just flanking as well, just to make the point that he can't pass this area. Okay, back home for Zard, he does have a factory going down. This is the building for the Global Risk faction, which enables them to produce vehicles. So we could see some interesting units come out for the Global Risk. In particular, perhaps a Cavalier, which is a light scout, which has good speed and can lay mines, interestingly enough. Or perhaps even some Heralds or Phalanx. The Herald being the support vehicle, which can have some really exciting abilities to help in a fight. For example, the Sonic Shield, which reduces damage taken. And an EMP, which is a bit more of an aggressive one, reduces the shield and energy of enemies. And it also reveals enemies that are in stealth. Which, by the way, the Black List faction does have a bonus and ability for their bulldogs. Oh, we see the rally ability being used by Zard here. This is a really interesting ability, which is made possible by the Cardinal, which is one of the leaders for the Global Risk faction. And that rally ability essentially just temporarily increases the rate of fire bonus, and it actually also helps the units heal themselves. So it's really quite a powerful ability to be able to use in the thick of a fight there. So Zard just showcasing that for us there. And we do see some Blacklist watchtowers going up for Zeta, just dotted around the map, so he gets some vision on this particularly nice juicy expansion base, which is more of a neutral one. As you can see, we do have a couple of well, I guess you can term them as neutral, because you know, they're not sort of close to one or the other. They're kind of in the middle of the map there. This is the one on the left, which is more of a neutral one. Yeah, this is the one on the right. But let's stick to the thick of the fight, which is here. We do see now, oh, well, we did see an air unit there, but not for very long. Alright, so it looks like Zard's going to double down on this sight tower. He's going to get an anti-ground turret, 2 anti-ground turrets in fact. And it looks like now Zard is going to just double down on this area here in the middle to make sure that he has control of this. We do see a Blacklist supply cache trying to be built there. I don't think that's going to go up in the end. But we should see a really strong army of infantry here coming from Zard. So we suspect that actually the play for the Blacklist now is going to be cheetahs. The cheetahs are a very effective anti-infantry unit for the Blacklist faction. So that could be an interesting switch if we see it. That's actually what the PP Zeta will want to do in this scenario when he's facing this number of infantry. Do have a bit of a defensive base here with the 3 watchtowers, which will go down to the troopers, but essentially at least now Zeta knows about this. Quite a ballsy expansion actually. He's just skipped over this core base, gone straight for this one. I'm not sure he's actually going to be able to hold on to this one, so this could be a tough fight for Zeta here. Alright, those defenses are gone. We do see 1 Dragonfly. That will obviously go down very quickly to the troopers. I wasn't aware actually the troopers could fire at them, so the troopers are quite versatile in a way, but they could shoot the Dragonflies down. I wasn't aware that could happen, but it looks like they can. And quite a lot of investment here going down for Zeta, and unfortunately he's going to lose this forward base and is going to be forced to go back. We do see a third expansion for Zard. He's taking a bit more of a safer approach, taking his third core base and looking to expand his economy. He's really moving forward now with this large number of troopers. We did say earlier on in the match that troopers really are effective in high numbers, and this is it. This is it. Case in point here, right here. Zard is showing us the power of the global risk troopers when they're massed up like this. Hopefully for the Blacklist player, he's going to be massing up cheetahs. He only has one mechanized facility though, so he's going to struggle here to produce units. Doesn't really have the production ability here in terms of buildings, and he's definitely at risk of losing his second core base, and this could be a very strong push for the global risk player in Zard. Does have one cheetah, but of course this won't be enough, and Zard uses the rally ability. This certainly is going to be very effective now. He was always going to win this fight. Looks like Zeta's going to use the ghost core, but you know, everything's kind of dead there already now anyway, I'm afraid. And this ghost core will be destroyed, as well as this second base. This could be the GG, I suspect. We see a couple of anti-ground turrets here coming down for Zard, making sure that expansion can't come this way for Zeta. And yeah, this game looks pretty much over now with this forward push with the infantry. I suspect it's a matter of time, unless Zeta can pull something out of the hat, pull something out of his sleeve. He's trying to continue to produce the bulldogs, but he's going to need a massive number of them. And we see a huge number of infantry coming forward, a lot of bases, a lot of barracks rather, going down. 3 back at home, 4 back at home, and I'm sure he's got a couple forward as well. But yeah, he's really kind of overwhelming things now with the units, and he's adding some javelins as well for good measure. This could be the nail in the coffin for Zeta. He's trying to mass up, he's trying his best. This is a tournament organised for the demo version of the game. We see the fire at will ability used for the global risk faction, just to aid the fight. And as you can see, the fire at will has a massive area of effect damage. Might even take care of this barracks. And the javelins will swoop in, and the infantry are huge in numbers here, and this should be the GG for this game. And just incredible numbers of infantry, incredible numbers of troopers, and he's just going to overwhelm his opponent here and take the W. One brave dragonfly there burns to the ground. You can see the troopers are popping in, and yeah, Zard is not going to let up. He's not going to show any mercy at this stage. Going to take out that core base, and there we have it, guys, the GG. Hope you guys enjoyed this casted game, and if you did, do give the video a thumbs up. I'm hoping to do a lot more videos like this, so I hope you enjoy this content. Take care, guys, and see you next time.